Okay, we're going to start with the punch today. Multiple candidates threaten Southern presidency. Leaders want 24 aspirants. Picture story 2023, power must shift to the South. APC says notes and please note our concern. Slain military couple, Buhari demands killer's arrest. IPOB denies complicity. Oguman kills friend over $150. Reports himself to police. Lagos pastor jailed for life for raping twins. Court faults parents. Nigeria needs men of integrity now, says Obasanjo. Bank deposits rise to 16.89 trillion naira in 3 months, says CBN. Strike, ASU wants minister's certificate withdrawn. Edo students protest. And Buhari receives Guterres, says terrorism threat to global peace. After spending over $8 billion on Niger, Nigeria imports 839 billion naira steel. Okay, which story are we starting with? BC, you want to go first?
I wanted YK to go, so I take the rest.
Okay, I'll take the Oguman then.
Right. Go ahead.
The Oguman that kills his friend over $150.
For real?
Yeah, they had entered into a business arrangement, and then the accused, Shogbola, now says to the Olabiyu that, look, you took the money, you have chopped the money. So they started fighting, and people tried to separate the fight. Then they went their separate ways. Around 8 p.m., he now puts on his WhatsApp status, rest in peace, to his friend, addressing his friend. Then about 11 p.m., he now goes to his place, stabs him, and then then he started running. People now saw him with blood. And so they started chasing him with Okadas and...
Obviously premeditated.
He has escaped. Somebody started shouting, look, oh, he has killed somebody, he has killed somebody. He by himself took himself to the police station and turned himself in. But the people were now demanding for his...
They wanted jungle justice.
Yes, they wanted to kill him.
The police may not be able to handle it.
Let me take the major headline.
Okay.
The fact that there are multiple candidates, especially in the southern region of the country, who are vying for presidency is a cause of concern to many elders within the APC and the PDP. According to them, the southern elders are beginning to fear that the high number of aspirants in the south could divide the delegates and then give room for the northern candidate. Because if there's so many, I mean, I think APC now has about going up to 20 almost, because more people declared, Akpabio declared yesterday, PDP, Governor Fayemi also declared. Quite a number of people are already declaring. And I said that if you compare that to the number of northerners who are comparing, it's quite small. So the southern delegates will be divided, and therefore there's a higher possibility that the APC party will never go to a northern candidate. So both APC and PDP are having meetings today, Thursday, in Enugu, and tomorrow, and I think Lagos State, where the Southeasterns are having their meeting today with the elders to agree on a consensus for both parties, APC and PDP. Same is happening on the side of the Southwesterns. I think having a meeting until tomorrow in Lagos State, where they must decide and agree on who is going to be their flag bearers, because obviously it's not going to
will they refund the money if somebody says I'm not doing it?
No, that hasn't been specified yet.
Into preparing for elections, which is very...
I was listening to the radio this morning, and someone calls in and he says he wants to remain anonymous, but the reason that they
are declaring.
They are doing this money there is those that put their money in, they are securing their own ministerial position.
At different angles. Wow. I heard that.
So the guy said, how do you know? He says, his brother is one of them. That's why he wants to remain anonymous.
Wow.
Anyways,
so I have a story quickly. Justice Abiola Saladoye of the Ikeja Domestic Violence and Sexual Offences Court on Wednesday sentenced a 54-year-old Pastor Michael Olise to life imprisonment for raping his friend's 12-year-old twin daughter. So what happened was that their father was traveling to the village for a burial and then kept these 12-year-old twins in his care, the pastor's care, to take care of them, and he raped them, both of them together. In fact, it was a neighbor that saw him while he was dragging one by the pants when she was trying to run away, and then they took the matter to the police. Now they've taken the matter to court. He's been found guilty and sentenced to life imprisonment. I'm just happy about that.
It was a quick trial, I think, was it?
Yes, it was.
No, 2017.
Oh, trial. No. Okay, I thought it was a quick trial.
No, but what is the judge faulted the parents, and that one surprised me, because
why would you leave? Why would you leave 2 children with a pastor? Are they their guardians? Why would you leave? Don't they have grandmothers, aunties?
Not her,
you know,
because he was going to the village for burial.
The pastor, they will feel is an upright citizen?
They wouldn't feel that he would take advantage.
But I think that maybe the reason why they feel that there's got to be other family members.
You may not have. Some people leave their village and come to the city and settle. There are no family members here.
I know someone who was abused by her father's brother.
Oh.
So it doesn't
They never really know.
Yeah, exactly. Please, let's take the story of the Ajaokuta steel plant. About 837 billion naira was spent importing steel into Nigeria last year, and they said that the steel, it was the plain basic sheet metal as well as iron and steel. This is after we've spent $8 billion on the Ajaokuta steel plant. And also there's a place, the smelter company in Akwa Ibom. There are many issues going on with this, the steel and iron industry. We are, as a country, have spent so much money. Some of it has been sold. They are now planning to reconcension it again. Business owners are complaining about the fact that it costs a lot of money to buy imported sheets. Some companies in Nigeria claim they are producing. So the question is, who is then importing this volume of iron sheet? People have accused the Bureau of Public Enterprise of not releasing smelter company. Their defense, and I wanted to specify because their defense was that the company that got the right to buy the smelter company didn't pay the 15% they were meant to pay at the right time. 2, they did not present a business plan. So you want to buy a company, but you don't have a business plan on how you will revitalize that company. You end up just owning the assets and tying it down. Also, the Ajaokuta steel plant has been consuming funds for so many years, and the plan now is to concession it, which they've done before, and it was tied in litigation. If we can increase production from those 2 places, we will resolve the issue of importing steel into Nigeria.
Exactly. Moving on quickly now to the nation. Tinubu, many presidential aspirants good for democracy. Boko Haram kills 8, sets military base ablaze in Chibok village. Lekki port to generate $201 billion. NBA chides federal lawmakers over no ransom bill payment. 73.8 million bank accounts not linked to BVN. And MTN Mafab to roll out 5G spectrum August 24th. Let me start with the major headlines. So, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu had gone to visit the president yesterday. And while he was coming out, he was fielding questions by journalists. And they were asking him concerning the fact that there are so many people running for president, even from his party. And he dismissed that, saying that it's good for democracy. He said the more the merrier. According to him, he says the more the merrier, and they are welcome to come because it becomes challenging, and it helps those who are contending to focus and to be on their toes. And he said that the president himself also is a Democrat, so he's going to ensure that there's a free, fair playing field for everybody, and that it's fine that more people come on board. It's just going to ensure that more people should strategically think of how best to move the country forward. He said it's all about service, nothing else. Let's think wisely and committed to our country, and let's only focus on the prosperity and the lives of Nigerians. So he said it's good for our country.
Yeah, so, okay.
Okay, go on. No, go on.
So according to data from the Nigeria Interbank Settlement Systems, they have shown that only 73.8 million data of people have not been linked to the BVN. That's the bank verification number. And they said out of the 128.4 million bank accounts in the country, 54.52 million accounts are already linked, and the rest are not. And they were linked as at May 1st this year. Now, this is an improvement from the 47.54 million BVN linked as at April last year. The target was to have over 100 million BVNs linked to the bank accounts by the end of 2025, and so far we have not gotten there. And they also mentioned that one of the reasons they want these accounts to be linked is going to help fight fraud, help for better identification of Nigerians, and they are trying to make it very simple for people who are not able to, especially for people in the rural areas. So they said they're having the premium bank verification, that's BVN, and the light BVN. So the premium is for those of us who are able to meet up to the 18 criteria mentioned, and then the light is for those in the rural areas. They'll just take their phone number, their names, just a few things to enable them to have access to their accounts.
Okay, so there was a headline there that you didn't read. The Ogun State Governor's former aide.
Okay.
has been suspended. Suspended. It has pleaded guilty to $350,000 worth of fraud, and they listed the whole $2 million in claims, $600,000 in.
But that's the COVID guy. Remember the Dr. Abiodun's former aide? Yes, he was arrested en route to America.
His name is Rufai.
Yes.
He was arrested in New York in May 2021. And he's pleaded guilty, and he faces up to 32 years.
Wow.
But the prosecutors have recommended no more than 71 months in prison, and he has said he will pay the money back.
Wow. Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing the papers. Moving on now to Daily Sun.
I want to quickly take a story in the nation, please. Okay. 8 feared dead, in Lagos State. So this happened in Agege. The fight was between a few gang, Shiaba, Beru, Otubu, Palace Boys, and the quarrel was based on 100,000 naira that was given to them by an artist. This artist grew up in Agege area, so he came to visit and gave out 100,000 naira. The person that got the money allegedly only declared 20,000 naira. And so it angered Sheba boys who have already had beef with each other. This 100,000 naira led to the death of 8 people.
Hey.
Yes.
How did they kill themselves?
They hacked, butchered, used all sorts to fight all through all through Sunday and Monday, and it resulted in 8 people dying.
Yeah.
The police in Lagos confirmed the case. They are investigating. I just feel like we've really, you think we've evolved past it. That's why politicians are having a field day. Because they're not changing. They're the same yesterday, today, and forever. We are just speaking English. I'm telling you, our people have not changed. They're the same.
Maybe they will.
Because the Nigerians many of them don't get it. Those that get it don't vote. Those are them, It's just so sad. Then move on quickly to Daily Sun.
Even if the ones that will vote, the people that get it are in a minority.
Exactly. So the presidential primaries, pressure mounts on INEC to extend deadline. Lekki Port, Nigeria to regain maritime business lost to Togo and Ghana, says federal government. Akure women storm streets for Yahya Bello in mega rally. After 71 days at home, university students protest, barricade major roads in Benin. UN mobilizing $321 million to support Nigeria's terrorism fight, says Guterres. And 2023, Masop demands Igbo presidency, Kanu, and Kanu's release. Okay, major headline for us.
Yes, I have the major headline. So the Independent National Electoral Commission, that's INEC, is under pressure to extend the deadline for the conduct of primaries by the political parties by some weeks. According to Section 29, subsection 1 of their new Electoral Act, it says that parties must conduct primaries and submit their list of candidates at least 180 days before the general elections. And the key political parties, we know they have already fixed their dates. However, the APC primarily is the one trying to lobby for an extension of this date because more people are showing interest and picking up the nomination forms. They also tried to get the buy-in of the PDP and INEC is saying, for now, we are not going to move this date. And they have given them, I think, until the first week of June to have submitted the candidates that want to go in for the election. So there are a lot of speculations. They may get the buy-in, they may fall in, they may extend it or not.
So the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, was in Lagos visiting the Lekki Deep Sea Port project just to see how that's going. And he was reminding journalists that this is a port that is going to generate about $201 billion revenue, and they expect that the project would create over 169,000 jobs. He also said that the project has been put to about $361 billion in revenue-wise in 45 years. He's saying that this is important and very crucial for Nigeria because it's going to rest businesses from Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, and I think another state, Ghana, because currently many people use those ports right now. But right now it's easier. So once this port opens, many businesses will be diverted to the Lekki Seaport, and that's great revenue for Lagos State and also the federal government.
I'm worried about the traffic.
No. I'm excited because it would open up Ekpe and Lekki, and they don't need to come through
This
Lagos.
way.
There's a proper, you should create better roads before the issue starts.
Have they
because
created?
we remembered what happened with the Papa. They had to do concrete roads and expanded. So now that we know this is going to be bringing in lots of opportunity and business, that's the road to the current seaport. It is not in any way sufficient to carry the kind of...
That's what I'm saying. I'm worried about the traffic.
kind of traffic that would be necessary.
Before it turns, like it turns
build
to
new
Papa.
roads, build new roads,
Yeah.
not expand. They need to build new roads. They have to be alternatives.
Yes.
So I wanted to take the students, University of Benin, Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma, Edo State Polytechnic. They all came together yesterday and barricaded the ring road in Benin, saying that they were going to stay there till the strike is called off. They're not taking anybody's side. They're just saying, see you, they are the ones suffering.
Yeah.
The government officials, they will send their own children to private universities or abroad. The lecturers have their own private businesses that they're running, that they are the ones that are staying at home.
Yeah.
And that their parents are not wealthy.
Yeah.
So they have been at home for 71 days.
Right.
And
There's one in the final year. It's like, I need to graduate. Just let me finish. You know, it's very pathetic.
And it's just not fair to them. So they're going to stay there. They're going to have their lectures there.
Well, a lot of them, like you. Did you see the pictures? Lots of them. They came.
They said they call it now Uni Street.
Yeah, so they're
calling
going to be having
the
their
place now Uni
lectures there.
Street. Yes, so they're going to have their lectures there.
painful.
And, you know, you can't help but pity them.
Right.
Because I know one of my brother's adopted sons, he spent almost 10 years trying to graduate.
For a course of about 4
For
years.
a course of 4 years.
Hi.
Come on.
And he went to school with Made around. You mentioned that.
Yes, now, Made left since when?
and
He
came
just left last year. And was it this year? Come on.
Then the labor market will say you are too old for us to employ you. That's another
Okay,
issue.
moving on quickly now to the Nigerian Tribune. APC extends sale of forms. PDP postpones local government congresses. Ogun Governor's ex-aide Rufai pleads guilty to the COVID-19 fraud case. On no pay, no work, we stand, NAAT. Police arraigned pastor for charging members 310,000 naira to have access to heaven. UN demands full women and youth participation for 2023. Thousands of women stormed Akure Street rally for Yahya Bello. And special report how 22 states in Nigeria face risk of malnutrition, food insecurity in 2022. Okay.
I took this pastor's story yesterday because in Kaduna they were looking for him. He went to Kaduna in April and he did the same thing, asking members to pay 310,000 naira each so that they can have access to heaven when rapture happens. Okay. Apparently, he had stayed in Ekiti State before, where he's been doing the same thing, asking members to pay that amount of money, and that there's a place where he can go to in one of the in one area in Ekiti where they will go to heaven. The heavens will open and take them. And I'm worried about the gullibility of Nigerians who are actually falling for this thing. But the state has picked him up, although he has been given administrative bail, but they're still investigating the matter. And they are saying that they promise to try and help, you know, protect Nigerians, gullible Nigerians, from falling into the hands of people like this.
Yeah, I think it's just enlightenment, because it's not just Nigerians who are gullible. Do you guys remember Jonestown?
Yeah,
that guy. I mean,
they all went to lie down on the beds, and then everybody died.
They were forced to drink cyanide.
Kerosene,
and they all went to lay down.
And
it's grass.
Yeah, and cyanide is actually a painful death. Yeah. He killed himself by gun. Boom. But they were, come and see them. And, it was a terrible thing with Jonestown. Go and read up on it. It's terrible.
That was in the years that time.
So, yes, I'll take the story. March 22, analysis uncovered the fact that 21 states in Nigeria and the Federal Capital Territory are at the risk of suffering, their children are at the risk of suffering malnutrition. So when I saw the picture, it was really scary, but thankfully, it's not a picture of anything that happened in Nigeria. It was just a stock picture found online. But this is based on the insecurity challenges. They mentioned a few of the states, including, I was surprised that there's, Abia State was included in part of the states mentioned, but it's a case of food insecurity, food based on insecurity challenges and malnutrition of children.
We have to run, that's all we can take.
What a pity, we couldn't take that Guardian story.
It wasn't as hot as it is, okay? Guardian story, let me quickly take, said that a suspect at APC orders aspirants to sign withdrawal letter. That is not what happened. So their the nomination forms come with the withdrawal letter, just in case, because their constitution allows them to do the direct or indirect primaries and consensus. So just in case the party decides on the consensus, you can now fill that form. So it's not mandatory for you to fill that form. You submit your form, but it's a form that's attached. And then you wanted to start one controversy. They're not forcing anybody to sign withdrawal letter. That's all that's on the paper, Jaiwaike. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we bring in Lush Hair. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.